Thank you for attending today's press conference. We are joined by homegrown midfielder Cole Bassett. We'll start off with his general thoughts and open up to questions. Cole?
Tough one. Another goal right before half that kills it, and then obviously a tough one to give up in the second half. Mistakes happen like that, but yeah, not good enough. Not enough shots on target, not enough attacking moments like we're used to, and goals. Obviously, I think people pay to come see goals, and we didn't have that tonight. So quick turnaround to Wednesday. We got two big games coming up this week: San Diego and the Rocky Mountain Cup. So eyes are set forward on those.
Hi, Cole Heath, Richards Team, MBS Media. Not to beat a dead horse, but as you mentioned, another goal given up right before the half. And honestly, it's the last 5 minutes plus stoppage of the second half and first half. First 5 minutes of the second half, teams giving up 12 goals this season, which is a significant amount of the goals that have been conceded. I know the question's been asked before, but how do you fix that? Is it just something mentally? Is it something tactically? But how do you get past that at this point?
We've talked about it as a leadership group with the coaches. We even said it before this game, because DC kind of really put an emphasis on it with two goals in that space of 5 minutes that they had added on. I really don't know what it is, because I guess it has to be a lapse of concentration, but the fact that we've emphasized it so much during training, and we've even trained it like 5 minutes left in the half. How are we going to play? We do it in 11s on Wednesday, trying to train it to not do it. I think for me, it can start with if we put our foot forward in the game. And last year, I think there were so many times where we're up 1-0, 2-0 going into halftime. We're on the front foot. We're kind of pushing teams back. We're still going for more goals. I think then you don't even get into those moments where, you're giving up goals. I think right now, a lot of times we're going into halftime 0-0, 1-0 maybe. It's like too tight, I would say. Like I really think, and I just said this to the team in the locker room, that we got to get back on track in terms of playing our game, playing our tempo, and really playing on the front foot and trying to score early goals. Because once you get that, the other team loses their confidence. They're not feeling any energy to go score goals right before the half. So for me, I think we've talked about it enough, but I think it can start from the first 40 minutes beforehand. That can really set the tone for those last 5.
Hey, Cole. Spencer Baldwin, Burgundy Wave. You looked good. You looked lively in this game. So how's the calf injury after having to miss out on DC?
Yeah, it felt good tonight. I hate missing games. I missed a bunch at the end of last year and missed this one, and I don't think we've picked up a single point. So it's frustrating to watch, because I know that when I'm not out there, it doesn't help the team. So I got to, keep my body healthy and make sure that I'm on the pitch at all times for this team, because I feel like I can provide something that sparks other players in the team and gets them going. So, yeah, I got to stay healthy and take care of my body better, but it was just a minor calf strain, and hopefully it's good from here.
I think it's the third or fourth match in a row that Darren Yappy has started. As a fellow homegrown, how do you feel about his performance so far and his growth on the team, being able to get so many minutes now?
Yappy's really taken a step forward this year. Last year, I think you would see him start a few games and he'd have one good game and then maybe be a bit inconsistent, as most young guys are. I was the same way, but I think this year he's really stepped into a role and he knows when he goes into every single game, how he's going to play and what his strengths are, and he's utilizing those right now. He's utilizing his body really well, playing combination play, setting the ball for us underneath me and Georgie and turning to goal. He created that little chance for himself in the first half that I think he'd like back, and he's had a lot of those good moments. So I think for us, if we continue to have him and Rafa pushing each other and wanting to score a lot of goals, that's good for the rest of the attacking group, because then you have two center forwards that are hungry, and obviously for all the guys underneath, we have a lot of midfielders or creators that want to help provide them service. So I think it helps us out a bunch if we have two of those guys that are hungry to score.
Cole, as you mentioned earlier, a busy week ahead. What is it going to take for this team to reset and turn the page, going on the road to a tough place in San Diego, and then bring the energy back here for obviously an important, huge game with Salt Lake?
Yeah, it's a team that we know very well. We just played them in San Diego, one of the best possession-based football teams in the league. And for us, it's a a mindset where we have to move on quickly. I think you got to learn from your mistakes and learn from what we've been doing the last few games, because it's obviously not good enough. That has to stick with you, so that feeling you know to put it right in the next game. But at the same time, I think having a turnaround mindset where you can go into the next game and kind of forget about some of the bad things that you did, and go into a place like San Diego where we know they're going to try to play out of the back, and that's going to give us chances to press them and hopefully give us opportunities, as we saw in our place. I think we had a lot of shots that game based off of turnovers and stuff like that. So I think the group has to get ready and get in the mindset to be eager to go after them and press them. And just because we're away, that doesn't mean we have to sit off and let them have the ball. I think it'll provide us a lot of opportunities to create some goals ourselves. And then obviously I don't think Salt Lake needs any explanation on how important that is for the club and the fan base. So we'll get to that one after Wednesday, but I think that one will be huge to take the first step towards the Rocky Mountain Cup.
We'll pause there and be back with head coach Chris Armas. Back and we're joined by head coach Chris Armas. We'll go ahead and start off with his general thoughts and open up to questions. Chris?
Yeah, look, we're obviously disappointed in the result, of course, at home on another night where our fans came out on Military Appreciation Night. There's nothing that bothers us more than to see fans not being able to celebrate a victory and just even us being at our best. So we leave the game feeling, we leave it on the table, and in this business, we know that the margins are already thin. Every team's got something good. And yeah, on the night we just fell short. It's a locker room that won't accept it. It's a coaching staff and club that won't accept settling and not finding a way. But we'll again, that's the general feeling right now, that the locker room is knows that we want more and that we're better than that. We also know that in the last few games we've, at home, especially Seattle and some of these games where we play well and don't get all the points, we know we have work to do. We're on our way to becoming a really good team, and we're on our way there. We're not there yet, but yeah, that's the general feeling right now, and we leave a few minutes ago knowing that it's a huge week for us. We'll be back in this building in a week, where we're going to go after Salt Lake, and then in between we have to go to San Diego, and we're looking for 6 points out of the next two, and that's that. So we have a big week, a lot to play for. It's not a time that we're pointing fingers, and certainly not heads down around here. So it's a good team. It's a fighting spirit, and it just these losses hurt. So that's where it's at right now.
Hi, coach. Team Keith Richards, team MBS Media. Not to beat a dead horse, but the team concedes again at the end of the second half. I know you say it's something you talk about, something you work on, but is it just kind of a mental thing at this point, to where it's in the back of your head that it's something that's possible, or is it something that still needs to be changed tactically?
I honestly, as not sure what you'll think, Keith, I don't think it's an end of the first half. It ends up, the goals come in those moments. But if we think about the goal against Benteke, right, it's a deflection cross, and he gets one chance. If that happened in the 34th minute, I think it'd be a goal. So it's hard to explain it. Against the run of play tonight, giveaway, we're in our end, and I think we give up 4 shots in the first half, and where we have certain amount of control, and it's something that they're good at is a cutback cross, right? They cut back crosses. They have 24 goals in the league this year. So many come on cutback crosses, which we knew. We had to face one of those in the first half. So for me, almost whenever it came, maybe we've shown vulnerability there. I don't know. I have a hard time thinking that when our guys are urging each other on from the 40th minute on, and you're in the second minute of the third stoppage time, that it's a mental thing. I saw a team that was alert in those moments, and we just didn't execute. And that's for me what it's about. Controllables, execution in that moment. It's coming at the end of halves, and we'll have to keep looking at that. But certainly it's just interesting that that's when it comes.
Hey, Chris, Spencer Baldwin, Burgundy Wave. Navarro was subbed off with what looked like an injury, but it didn't seem like he wanted to come off. What went into the decision to sub him, and what is his status currently?
Yeah, listen, Rafa Navarro is never going to want to come off the pitch, and if I'm certain that was the first time he came off the pitch in 2025. He's durable, he's prideful, he never wants to come off. But for 5 minutes or so, he's hobbling on the field, limping, and he's sprinting, and then he'd be limping, and he's a warrior. He doesn't want to come off. My job is to protect these guys. It's a regret I had as a player. I played through everything in every little moment. There was moments where I should have come off. And sometimes you get a knock and you shake it off, and then all of a sudden it's gone. It didn't go away. He kept limping. So And then he really winced when he made a through. He sprinted, made a through ball, and then he showed it again. So that's part of it. Players don't want to come off. Players like Hafa certainly never want to come off, but it is my job to protect these guys when I think there's an injury there. So there's something going on. It's probably minor. And, yeah, I hope it is because we're going to need him. It's a big week for him.
Had Cole Bassett come back after missing against DC. Seemed to pick up the level of the play when he came on immediately. What do you think of his performance coming back, and what is it about his quality that just affects the team that much when he comes on?
Well, you know, Keith, we're a team that wants to play with energy, and Cole plays with energy. So when he came into the game, it was clear he brought energy, intensity. He gave us a spark right away. And then all of a sudden we had a grasp on the game. So when we talk about what makes us good and makes Cole good, it's the same thing. It's the energy and belief and his willingness to just drive with the ball and eliminate opposition. And it's a shame because in that moment, as we're building, we make some moves to bring in some fresh legs. In addition to Cole, we give up the second goal, which it's a bad one to give up, if we're being honest. But we're happy that he's healthy. He gets through the game. It's a positive on the night that he looked a lot like himself, and I think he looked really sharp. So yeah, big week for him too. It's good that he's gonna be back in it.
Chris, Connor Ronan got his first start of the season today, and in a more wide position than we're used to seeing him in. What did you make of his game today?
Well, yeah, we didn't play him wide. We played Connor in it as a 10. We played a 4-2-2-2 in possession. So you see him wider defensively because we're defending in a 4-4-2. But yeah, I thought he showed real calmness on the ball, quality on the ball, picked up spots in the first half. Out of the two 10s, him and Georgie, more play was on the right-hand side. So he was finding moments to get guys in behind. He put in Rafa once with a clever pass. He got in on goal. He almost scored a goal. I thought he was pretty effective on the night, helping us create chances. And, yeah, so like I said, the goals change games, right? So at the end of the first half, and then as we're pushing things the second half, so maybe the full effect doesn't show up. But I thought he found some good pockets out there and spaces that we knew would be there. So it's good to have him back into the starting lineup and that he's healthy. And that's the goal now with him, just to stay healthy.
The press conference there. For media who would like to